You want to know how to sabotage your relationship? This is the Joyfully Married After podcast, episode 26. This is Joyfully Married After with Heath and Tracy. I'm Heath.
And I'm Tracy.
We're joyfully married after how many years, baby?
26.
26 years, 4 kids, corporate jobs, entrepreneurs, and this podcast is our view on life through our lens.
Let's go.
Hey, baby, what's going on?
Hello.
So today we're going to give people some specific instruction of how to absolutely destroy their relationship.
Sounds like a plan. Why are we doing this?
Because people are doing it already.
Isn't it crazy out here?
We're trying to help people.
We trying to help y'all.
This is what we do. We're trying to help y'all.
So there are many ways
to destroy a relationship.
But we only going to give you 10.
We're going to give you the top 10.
I need the top 10?
We're going to give you 10. How about that?
I like that. What's the first one?
The first way to destroy your relationship is that you focus more on what's wrong than what's right.
Ooh.
Every time something is wrong, you find that nerve and you just jump up and down on that thing.
Yeah, that's not good. That's really going to tear somebody up. They're not going to really want to be around you much. They're going to talk about how you mistreat them. Mm-hmm. And if you're around someone and you're always giving them negativity, mm-hmm. would you want to be around them anymore?
Nope.
It's just not good. So what you want to do is focus on what's good about the person. Heath and I just went through a little flubberb.
A flubberb?
A flubberb.
Is that something that only happens in the suburbs?
He's so silly. So to describe it, it's like you're just not clicking. You're just not on the same page. Mm-hmm. You just kind of like, what's going on here? I don't know.
Right.
And you're not feeling them. You're just not feeling each other.
So,
I don't even know another way to put it.
So you don't want to identify what's wrong and then just magnify it.
Absolutely not.
And talk about it and massage it and keep it in front and center.
Oh, you just get on my nerve. I hate it when you do that. Didn't I tell you to stop doing that? You just keep doing it over and over. I don't know why. You know it's just going to end up being like this. Didn't I just say this yesterday? Oh, my God. Am I telling you this again?
That's the sowl. That's the sigh and the growl mixed together.
Oh, that's pretty good, baby.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we named them. So don't do that, y'all.
Don't focus more on what's wrong. Focus on what's right.
Baby, you are just the bomb diggity. That dinner you made tonight was just on point.
Ooh, I made it in like 10 minutes.
Baby, you are just doing it, girl. I love you.
Yeah, I'm not feeling you right now, but come over here and sit next to me and touch my feet, please.
I sure we're doing it right now. Lickety split. Post haste.
You got to keep it like that. You got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. Figure out what's good. Stop, think, relax, take a deep breath, and think about what's good and focus on that.
There you go. And that is just a perfect segue into the second point that we wanted to make, which is you'd rather be right than in love.
Oh, this one. I see this happen to so many people.
Pride.
You got to let it go. That ego needs to be you don't need to let ego in the door. Ego does not live here. Ego doesn't live here anymore.
Evil going on. Ego.
Yeah, ego is a love killer. Mm-hmm. I don't know another way to explain it, but ego is a love killer.
Mm-hmm. You got to lose the need to be right all the time.
Even if you are right, Tracy. Even if you are right all the time, Tracy. Let it go. LIG. It's not worth it. It's just not that big of a deal.
Right.
And you're going to learn along the way. Maybe you're not right all the time. Maybe you're not right all the time. And you have to lift the other person up. Yeah. Even if you think you're right, you have to say something like, I agree with that.
Sure.
But, you know, and that's what I try to do because I'm one of those type of people that thinks I'm right about everything. So what I have to do with Heath is listen to what he's saying, figure out, okay, there's some truth in that. Okay.
Yeah, because there's always another point of view. You just because you're right in your mind doesn't mean that you're right in that particular situation. And what we're talking about is the maintenance of your marriage,
Yes.
of your relationship, of your primary relationship in your
Right.
life. And so if you want to sabotage it, do these things. Be right all the time and make sure that everybody knows that you're right.
Yeah. And what you have to do when you're in that moment of being right is it worth the love?
There you go.
Am I taking something away from the love right now?
Yep.
Am I just trying to be right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about that.
There you go.
The next one is you take things personally and you make it about you.
Selfish.
Don't take it personal. Take the
Bitter with the sweet. Easy come, easy go. We were harmonizing, baby.
Hey. So this is another one that's hard. This is what people do day in and day out at work,
Mm-hmm.
with their friends.
Yep.
And in your home with your significant other.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's hard. It's like, what do you mean? Don't take it personally. This is my significant. This is my other half. This is my. I need to take everything they say personally. I need to be. It's personal.
Because you're making it all about you.
But that's why it's wrong to take it personally, because it's not about you.
Everything in life.
It's about us.
Everything in life is not about you.
It's about us, right?
But if
baby?
you're in a relationship, if you're in a marriage, it is about the relationship. You know, I was thinking about this the other day, baby, and it reminded me of the NFL.
Tell me how, love.
Because in the NFL, they have these two sides. It's the players and the owners. And it's this constant battle, this constant struggle for power, for one-upsmanship, for I need to get more, so we're going to hold that, we're going to table that for the next negotiation.
You're right.
It's going to be all about what I'm going to get up on you. But at the end of the day, it is more about the shield.
Ooh, he is right about that.
Than it is about the coaches,
The owners,
the owners,
the players, the fans.
It is about the survival of the shield.
It is.
And the flourishment, if that's even a word, the advancement, the health.
Yeah, the
growth, the longevity
of the NFL,
of the shield.
Yeah.
And so if you think about your marriage in those terms, that might help some people, right? And so the idea is that you need to do what's mandatory. You need to do what's necessary for the growth, for the survival, for the flourishment
of your marriage. It's just so important to keep that in mind.
Yep.
What's the next one? I got it. You don't create a safe space for your partner to speak openly.
Talk about that, baby, because I think that's so important from the perspective of that if you can't speak freely in your own house, I mean, you're going to have some issues, right?
Yeah.
And so even though we're keeping in mind these things that you want to be cognizant of to not sabotage your relationship,
right?
Occasionally the human spirit, the humanness has to come through.
It does.
You have to have a release point. You have to have a safe space where you're not judged, where it's okay, whatever it is that you need to get out of yourself if you need to vent or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I bring this up because that's kind of what our little flubber was about this week. I just felt
flubber, y'all put that down and see if that's in the is that in the dictionary, the urban dictionary?
I'm trying not to cuss as much.
Baby, we might need to start the suburban dictionary.
I like it.
You have the urban dictionary. But I'm not sure if there's a suburban dictionary. So we may start with the flubber.
Okay.
A flubber definition is if you having a flub up, if you having a dust up in the suburbs, it's called
a flubber. I was trying not to say the bad word. So.
Good job, baby.
So what I was going to say about it was, this week I think you were feeling a certain way. Mm-hmm. And I automatically was offended. Mm-hmm. Because I felt like you couldn't be open with me. Mm-hmm. I felt like whatever was bothering you, whatever was on your mind, whatever you were thinking about, whatever you were going through, you felt like you couldn't share it with me.
Right.
And that's what that's the vibe you give me that vibe for like 2 days. Mm-hmm. So I was like, what the frick is going on?
Right.
And the first day I was cool. You know, I was like, okay, you going through something, whatever. But, I said, okay, what I said, let's get in the car and go. We went somewhere and we got in the car. And I forget where we were going. But I gave
some gas.
I don't know what it was. But I was like, I really want to give him this opportunity. We're not in the house. The kids aren't in the house. It's different when you're in the house sometimes. Yeah. So let's get in a different atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And I said, let's see what's going on with heat. So I asked him the question again. Mm-hmm. Like maybe the 10th time that weekend. Hey, babe, what's going on in your head? What you talking about? What you thinking about? And what'd you say?
Crickets.
And I think I just was like, oh. And then this particular point that we're talking about right now went through my mind.
Right.
It was like, okay, am I not giving him that space? Mm-hmm. Do I make him feel like if he says whatever he needs to say to me right now, that he doesn't feel like it's a safe space? Mm-hmm. And I was offended.
Right.
Well, I was offended by the fact that I felt like you couldn't tell me whatever was bothering you, which was dumb. It was just dumb. I don't even know another word for it.
Yep.
But it was just, I felt like I wanted to ask you, do you feel like you can't tell me what you're thinking about? Do you feel like if you say whatever you're going to say to me, I'm going to throw it back in your face later?
Right.
And you say to that,
I was just processing whatever I was going through, whatever I was dealing with, whatever I was thinking through. Maybe I had some mental fatigue. Maybe I was
you had gone for a run that day.
Things.
You were like, I think I'm just dehydrated.
Yeah,
baby.
I think I was a little dehydrated. I was tired, but I knew I had some things to accomplish that day. So we were on the way to get something to eat, and we stopped and got some gas, and you were so irritated that you got out and pumped your own gas.
I never pump my own gas. Never, ever. If there was a man in the car, I live with 3 men.
Baby,
I live with a man and 2 grown boys.
Baby, you want me to get that gas? No, I got it. Okay.
And he said they're just as cool. What, you asked me something else? I was like, boy, you ain't answer my question.
Oh, I should have taken a picture.
No.
We need to be vlogging, boy. Y'all would have some comedy. Y'all would have some like wow moments.
So mad. I was so mad.
That was funny.
But I got over it.
So don't do that, y'all.
Yeah, you want to make sure that your man or your woman has, if they say something like, you know what, I really don't want to go into work today. I just feel like not doing this or not doing the other, and those people get on my nerves, and they're telling you about work and they're telling you what's wrong. So then maybe 2 weeks later they come back in, they're like, you know what, oh, I want to get up this promotion and I want to do this and I want to do that. And you look at me like, I thought you said you ain't like working there.
Gotta have a safe space.
You gotta have a space for your partner just to think. Sometimes they just need to think out loud.
Yep.
And they need you to bounce it off of.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
The next topic that I wanted to touch on, baby, was you put other people or other things ahead of your relationship or your partner.
Yeah, this is probably, we should have probably made this number 1.
Well, it's in the 10. So I mean, I think that the key thing is that you want to convey to people that your primary relationship is that with your spouse. And if you have other people, whether it's a close friend, somebody you grew up with, mama and them, Pookie and them, Ray,
mama, daddy, baby daddy,
then you're incorrect. And that is going to cause challenges for you, and that will sabotage, that will pull at the trust strings in the relationship. I think I just invented a new term there.
Hey, trust strings.
Trust strings.
Okay.
Wow. And so it really will tug at the trust strings, and you don't want to do that because that is so key in the relationship. You have to have trust, that bond between one another, right? Dovetailing back into the previous concept of the safe space. And if your mate does not feel safe that you trust them, that you put them above everything else but God, that's going to create problems for you. Because if what your mom says is more important than what your wife says, that's a problem.
Ooh, that's a problem. Now, what about my fraternity or my sorority?
It's not more important than your spouse.
What about my job? Wait a minute. That's how we eat. That's how we live. That's how you have the clothes on your back.
I think actually that comes from God.
Ooh, I like that, baby.
It doesn't come from the job.
We say that all the time.
Right.
Whenever we're going through it at work and things just aren't doing like they're supposed to do, or the money's not flowing like the money was supposed to flow, or something like that, we always say, you know what? My provision is from God.
Right.
My provision isn't from where we work.
There you go.
My provision is from God.
Yeah.
And we keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
Because that's the truth.
There you go. And it will set you free.
Okay. So keep that in mind. Don't put anything or anyone else above that relationship. I just read an article
in
the Harvard Business Review about this.
What did it say?
Oh my God, it was so good.
Did it say the same thing we said?
It pretty much it said the title, it caught my attention because the title of the article was in Harvard Business Review today.
Okay.
I don't what date, I don't know. But it was in the Harvard Business Review, and the title of the article was When Your Company Wants You to Choose Between Your Career and Your Marriage.
Oh, I think I sent you that.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Thank you, love.
Yeah. And that's heavy though.
Did you read it?
No, actually, yeah, I did read
You
it, but it was a few days ago when I read it. But I have seen that firsthand. So when I saw the article, I knew exactly what it was going to be getting into, because what happens so frequently is that as people are chasing the corporate ladder, as they're chasing the corporate riches, as they're chasing the corporate path, sometimes if they're not holding this framework that we're talking about, if they're not holding that up front, then it leads very quickly to divorce. It leads to the isolation. And so there is a way to do that and still maintain your family, but you have to be cognizant of these things, and you have to be on the same page with your mate. Otherwise, it can cause problems.
The first thing you have to do is trust God. We're going to go back to that, y'all. We're Christian.
Yep.
We believe in Jesus Christ, Lord and Savior. And what I want to say about the article, going back to the article, was that the gentleman got promoted to a big time, president of his company. They announced it. He looks at him blank face because it was a surprise. And he's like, I need to talk to my wife. He said his wife was in her final year of her residency.
Yep.
Can't move. You can't move. If you move, it's detrimental to the entire career in your final year of your residency.
Right.
He could not move. He literally could not move. And they wanted him to move across move across country, take this job, take this big step. Oh, we're going to move your family. We're going to pay you more. What's the problem? Goes, talks to his wife. They're like, absolutely not. We can't move, but we can give them some options. He went back to his company. He said, okay, why don't I commute? I'll do a weekend to weekend thing, or I could, put it off for a few more months because she was going to graduate, and it was going to be like 6 or 9 months or something like that.
Sure.
Or it was another option, but I can't remember what it was. And they told him no. They told him no. He missed out on the job. They gave the job to somebody else, and then he got stuck. He got pigeonholed at that company because the CEO was mad at him.
Wow.
How could you? We've invested all of this in you, and you're just going to turn us, you're just going to reject us like this? And I was like, dog, are you serious? You really want me to take my wife's career and throw it in the toilet?
Right.
Because you want me to move across country? Absolutely not.
Yep.
So he stuck it out. This is the good news, and it did really well. He stuck it out. She graduated. She got a great position in another state.
Right.
He moved with her and got a great position and started his career again.
Boom.
Goes back to trusting God.
Yep. And keeping your priorities in order.
Keeping your priorities in order.
Yep.
Because it's so important. She knew right then and there, this my dude right here. He is willing to give this up. Oh, I need to produce now.
Yep.
So it was awesome. It was awesome. I like the story.
That's a great story, baby.
Yeah, I like the story.
Yeah.
So don't get caught up with that career and everything. That's another job. Trust me.
Yep. It's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right.
Or you can side hustle.
Yeah.
The next topic is you don't know or you don't fulfill each other's love languages.
What's a love language, Heath? If you don't know, go get the book. Go to heathandtracy.com and go to our website, and we have it under our favorites.
Yeah.
The 5 love languages.
It's a great book.
It's an easy read.
Yeah.
It's a quick read. It's a fun read.
It is.
And it really gives you a lot of insight into your partner. Like,
It does.
Just give me one of mine.
Acts of service.
Acts of service, baby.
Baby, let me go put that gas. Let me go fill that tank up.
Yes.
I need that tank to be on F.
Yes.
Baby, I'm going to take care of the dishes this evening. Don't even worry about it.
Oh, thank you so much.
Baby, I got your shower on. When you get done, just jump right in.
Okay, so y'all know he's doing these things. He's going to be just fine tonight. He's going to be just that. I just love that. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it.
Right. Acts of service. Those are yours.
And then he needs compliments.
Yep.
He needs
And touch.
He needs touch,
Mhm.
and he needs a lot of touching.
Yep, a lot
He's
of
like my
touch.
youngest son too. My youngest
Mhm.
son is like that.
Yep.
And that's another good thing. It's not only good for you and your spouse. It's good for your children.
Right.
You need to know how your children are wired, so
Yep.
you know how to speak to them. Because if you are constantly giving me gifts,
Mhm.
buying me diamonds and stuff,
But that don't really mean anything to
it
you.
doesn't mean anything to me. I'm sorry, I'm not one of those chicks. It just doesn't mean I can buy my own diamonds.
Right. It didn't help you
It doesn't help him at all. It's
That's-
not going to help him in any way, shape, or form.
because you're wired differently.
Because I'm wired differently. You have to know that about your spouse. So definitely, guys, pick up this book, The 5 Love Languages. Get it. You can go to the library. It's a quick read. And it's actually fun to read it. So go check that out. You've got to know. You got to continue to fill up that love tank.
Fill it up, baby. Gotta fill it up.
The next one is you expect your partner to think and act exactly like you.
Because Trace is exactly like I am.
You stop. He's so passive aggressive, guys. You just don't know what I had to deal with.
Oh my gosh, Tracy
He's
is
so nice. Oh my God, does he have a brother?
We're not-
He's so nice.
we're not exactly alike, baby.
Heck no.
We're not?
We are North Pole, South Pole.
Is that typical in relationships?
I find it is.
I think so. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find
So I mean that's a great point, right? So a lot of couples are going to be opposite, or you're going to have qualities in your mate that you don't necessarily have, or that you may be better at something than your mate, and so you need to understand what that is and what that's about.
How? Like what things?
If you
Tell true.
we handle things differently.
How differently?
We respond to
Heath?
things differently.
Like right
so
now.
an example would be Tracy is direct.
I get to the point, y'all.
Tracy can be curt.
Don't get your feelings hurt. That's not nice.
I said you can be curt. I didn't
No,
say
okay.
you
I'm
were.
not curt. I am not curt. I am direct.
Tracy is very direct.
I love everybody.
Very, very.
I need you to know
very
what I'm talking about right now. I need you to know.
Very direct.
I need you to know. Like, look me in my. I need you to know right now. Oh my gosh, we could tell you guys the same story.
Yeah.
It would take me probably 2 minutes. It's gonna take Heath 20 minutes.
I'm going around the maypole, around the mulberry bush. I'm going around the block. I'm going around the world.
Can you imagine?
But I'm gonna bring it home though.
Can you imagine?
But I have to make sure that I crystallize all of my thoughts so that you understand exactly where I'm coming from, so that it's very clear.
I just need to let you know where I'm coming from. There you go, right there. That's the difference between us. So it is tough.
So that's an example. Yep.
Sometimes I expect him to be just like me.
Yep.
Sometimes I say, why can't you just do it like this? See, watch. And he's like, girl, please.
Mm-hmm.
And then sometimes he expects me to be like him. It's just we're wired that way.
Yep.
Everybody is wired that way. It's not difficult. But what you have to do is, one, recognize it and understand what's going on, and then let it go. Let it go. Walk away. Stop doing what you're doing. Stop expecting what you're expecting. That's the first thing, expecting something.
Mm-hmm. So if you want to sabotage your relationship, expect your partner to be just like you and act accordingly.
You will fail.
How about when you kind of get out of sorts, baby? Your polarity is off. You're out of sync, and it begins to impact the fizzle and the sizzle.
I'm
in the
not
relationship.
attracted to you anymore.
I ain't just feeling you like that no more.
You look a little round right now.
Dog, we've been married for like a gazillion years. How you
need
just not
to
gonna be attracted to me no more?
You need to exfoliate.
You got to work on that stuff, guys. You can't just let that hang. You can't just, okay, we just growing apart. I ain't just feeling
That's
you no
bull.
more.
Yeah, whatever.
Speak on it, baby.
Yeah. Well, I got to speak on it. You know about it.
Speak on that, baby.
There's just times. Just times you look at the other person and you're like,
Yeah.
It's normal.
I think what happened.
Don't get too excited. It's just not that big of a deal.
What happened with me, I think that one of the things that really helped me when I had a tinge of that was listening to a pastor one day. And he said, you want to look at your wife and feel like you got a problem because she got a few more pounds on her than she did when you met her.
When she was 20.
You like, she done had all them 2, 3, 4 your big head kids, stretching her body all out to bring some joy into the world, to recreate with you. She made those sacrifices for you. And you got enough nerve to act like you not attracted to her anymore, or you don't have the same level of appreciation for her anymore, or she need to go to the gym or whatever it is. You know, you ain't exactly carrying around a six-pack yourself. Matter of fact, you're closer to a keg. So what you talking about?
Yeah.
You need to have reverence for that woman.
You do.
You need to understand what that woman did for you and for your family. And so, I mean, he went on, but the point is that it really resonated with me, and it enabled me to do something that we talk about frequently, is that the renewing of the mind.
Yes, you have to renew.
And then, so in that scenario, it enabled me to renew my mind around having a different type of appreciation for you and what you've done and what you've experienced for me and for our family. And it was just like light bulb. It was like,
it's a sacrifice.
wow.
And people don't realize it.
Right.
For women, when you have kids, it's going to be a sacrifice on your body. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. Unless you're going to the nip and tuck, you're sacrificing something.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same.
Yeah.
It's not going to feel the same. And what happens with women is we spin out. We spin out because it gets to, I'm never going to look like that again.
Yep.
I'm never going to have that body. And then you just forget it. You just like forget it.
Right.
And that happens. And life happens to you.
Yeah.
So when your man gets to that point of looking at you and not feeling you, that's when the problems start.
Yeah, especially today, right? When you're looking at
Oh
the
my
Instagram
gosh, the
girls,
Instagram
you're looking at
girls
all
and
the
everything.
beautiful
Yeah.
people everywhere, and it's like, dog, she never had no kids.
Wait, or she had $30,000 worth of plastic surgery.
Or she airbrushed and she don't look like that anyway.
She don't look like that anyway, y'all.
Or it's like, come on.
It's not, and that's what you have to understand is that the attractiveness is about what's between your ears.
Right.
And if you connect with your partner on a regular basis,
Yep.
you're going to be attracted to them. You didn't fall in love and marry with them and make a commitment to them for no reason.
Yeah.
You have to understand that there's something more there. And if you marry them for their body, good luck. It's not going to be like that. It's just not going to stay like that.
If you can see it,
It's subject to disappear. No, it's subject to change. Yeah. Everything on the outside of us, and we're going spiritual here because we are Christian, but everything on the outside of us is temporary. It's temporal. It's only going to be like this temporarily. I don't even look like I looked yesterday, much less 20 years ago.
and it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, because it's nothing. Heath loves my spirit.
Yep.
Heath loves a part of me he hasn't met yet.
All right, let me go get my boots. Now you get deep.
Are you cutting me off?
I would never do that, my love.
Oh, okay. You're so silly.
Okay, let's move on.
You are cutting me off. Oh, no. I'm
No,
not
you're
done.
doing your thing, baby. You're doing your thing.
No,
Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying, though.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
have to be, and this is something, this goes back to to preparing for marriage.
Right.
You have to figure out why you're marrying that person. I married Heath because of who he was, not what he looked like.
Right.
You know, you can't marry somebody because of what they look like.
Yeah.
You know,
What they look like can help. What they look, but you have to make sure that you're looking past that as well.
because y'all can marry some real gorgeous people,
There you go. But
messed up people.
But they may not be very pleasant when you get them home.
Oh, Lord. Or 10 years later. You'd be like, what the heck?
What happened?
What happened?
So if you really want to sabotage your relationship, be inauthentic with your mate. Lose respect for your mate, and see how that goes for you.
Baby, I spent $2,000 at Nordstrom today.
$2,000 now.
You all right with that?
No.
So he's just so used to being authentic with me. Okay, baby, try it again, but this time be inauthentic.
Okay.
Baby, so I really saw this really nice sofa that I wanted for the family room, and it was only $5,000. It was only $5,000. So I went ahead and bought it. It should be here in about 6 weeks. Well, I can't wait. You want to see a picture?
No, I trust your judgment, baby.
Wow. What are you saying on the inside?
That's what I'm saying on the inside.
Okay, so what are you thinking
That's
next?
to blow out the candle side with the jaws inflate and you. Lord have mercy. You're trying to keep it together. And the point is that those kinds of decisions there has to be some collaboration there. You have to make sure that you're being authentic and saying, hey, this is what I want to do. What do you feel about that? How do you think? I think it would be really cool. I think we need a couch. We've been needing a couch. And I found the perfect one that would look great in the room. It's the right color, it's the right size, et cetera, and it's $5,000. And I may completely agree with you, but I may think that, baby, that sounds great, but we need to spend $1,000 maybe.
Where you gonna find a couch for
$700? Have we checked the IKEA catalog? Where's my computer? You know,
but that's authentic,
right?
Because what happens to the relationship if you're inauthentic is it crumbles.
Yep,
it crumbles because it's like you just tore a little piece of yourself off and you put it in a box somewhere.
You don't want to do that.
You look up one day and you can't stand them.
Yep,
you can't stand them because you don't tell them how you really feel, and they don't know, and they're going about their carefree life buying $2,000 worth of clothes and $5,000 couches, and it's affecting you, and you aren't saying anything. So you look up one day and you go, you know what, I don't want to be with you anymore.
And that is a surefire way.
You get on my nerves. You stress me out.
And that is a surefire way to sabotage your relationship.
Yeah.
We got one more.
Oh, okay.
One more, baby. You overvalue certainty or fail to embrace change.
Ooh, Heath and I say this all the time. I am not the person he married 28 going on 29 years ago.
Stuff gonna change.
It's gonna change, y'all. It's gonna change.
The only thing in life that's guaranteed.
I expect my dinner at 5:00 when I hit the door every day.
Okay, we'll see how that go.
I expect you to give it to me in this position every time.
Depending on my mood.
I expect you to wear that dress every time we do this.
We'll see how that goes for you.
I never expected you to cut your hair that short.
Hey, I got to do what I need to do.
Who said you could cut your beard off?
That's my beard.
Y'all, it's going to change. It's going to change. I thought we were going to live in this house all our marriage.
Yeah.
I thought this was our forever house.
It's our forever house.
What's a forever house, y'all?
We moved so many times since we've been married.
Oh, my God. It doesn't even matter.
You can't even keep up.
How many times have we moved?
A bunch. Is that a number? A bunch?
A bunch. A bunch.
So the point is that the only thing that is certain in life is that you have change. And if you want to sabotage your relationship, think that things are always going to remain the same.
They're
and
not.
You will be in for a rude awakening.
Nope. Not how the kids are dressed, not how she dresses, not how he dresses, not how long his beard is, not how she does you, not how he does you. None of that stays the same. None of it.
So you got to be prepared for change, and you have to roll with it. Roll with the punches. Thanks again for listening today, folks. If you liked any of what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. Tell a friend, too. And you can engage us at heathandtracy.com for all the goings-on in our world. Queen Tracy, speak to the people.
Bye, loves.